I got to turn my mic on first. I was muted. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Morning Market Update, episode 2. This is my second episode. I know that when I was doing it with Johnny, we obviously, had a lot of morning market updates. We actually got up to the 50 days. But obviously, some things have changed. Some things have shifted around, so we had to adjust. I did shoot Johnny a message. Maybe he'll join. Maybe he'll make a guest appearance. Maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully he does. But for now, you guys got me. So, just sit back, relax. We're going to be diving into some things. How many of you, I know we only got 3 people in here, which is all good. People are going to be trickling in. It's A-okay. But I do want to know how many people actually went and watched the recent Binance video that I put out. Hunter Jenkins, let's go, man, in the comments. That's what I'm talking about. I hope you guys did watch that recent Binance video. I did break down a lot of the things that not looking too good. It's not looking too good. And we actually had a response from CZ himself. So we'll be going over that as well, alongside, kind of what's going on in the markets. We're going to be taking a look at some data, taking a look at the price of Bitcoin, because things are kind of in a little bit of a lull. Things are kind of hanging out, ain't too much happening. This is usually a sign of a move that's about to happen. So, yeah. But before we do that, obviously, make sure you guys smash the like button, share it with as many people as you possibly can, because we got to get more and more people in here. It's some pretty time sensitive stuff. And then obviously towards the end we'll kind of take a look at some coins that maybe you guys are interested in me reviewing, or just taking a look at on the charts and things like that. But let's just dive right into it. I'm not gonna keep on yip yapping over here. So I want to go over some of the biggest news that's been coming out. So as of now, by now we know that Binance is getting sued by the CFTC. It's a specific lawsuit, more tailored towards like a lot of the trading and a lot of the listings that Binance has done, which makes a lot of people worried, because this is going to really change a lot of things for the crypto markets. So let me just kind of move this over here so I can have a view on it. All right, perfect. There we go. So this was CC's response to the CFTC complaint. And it's very interesting how he approached it. He's basically just trying to, again, reiterate how they have been following a lot of regulations, how they have been, doing things by the book. And he doesn't really understand why people or why the CFTC is, issuing this lawsuit when they're doing everything they can in their legal framework to, just make things super transparent. So, he broke it down into a couple of responses, technology for compliance in U.S. blocks, cooperation and transparency with law enforcement, registration licenses, and then trading. So this was very interesting with the trading aspect, because this is a lot different than what basically the lawsuit is suggesting that Binance has been doing. However, it's almost like he's basically admitting it, but he's trying to say that there's like rules and regulation around it. So let me read this for you. So like he said, Binance.com does not trade for profit or manipulate the market in any circumstances. Good morning, Marty. What's up, Hound? How you doing, man? Smash that like button. He said they don't manipulate the market under any circumstances. I mean, are we really going to believe that? Binance trades in a number of situations. Our revenues are in crypto. We do need to convert them from time to time to cover expenses in fiat or other cryptocurrencies. We have affiliates that provide liquidity for less liquid pairs. These affiliates are monitored specifically not to have large profits. Personally, I have 2 accounts at Binance, one for Binance Card, one for my crypto holdings. I eat our own dog food and store my crypto on Binance.com. Wow, that's kind of impressive there. I also need to convert crypto from time to time to pay for my personal expenses or for the card. Binance has a 90-day no trading rule for employees, meaning you are not allowed to sell a coin within 90 days of your most recent buy, or vice versa. This is to prevent any employees from actively trading. We also prohibit our employees from trading in futures. Further, we have strict policies for anyone with access to private information, such as details of listings, launchpads, etc. They are not allowed to buy or sell these coins. And then he goes on to say, I observe these policies myself strictly. I also never participated in Binance Launchpad, Earn, Margin, or Futures. I know the best use of my time is to build a solid platform that services our users. So again, in that, he's basically, you're 3 minutes behind. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I think there's always going to be a bit of a lag. That's why. So yeah, don't worry about that. Hopefully it'll kind of start to catch up here. Maybe if I close out my Discord, it'll make things a little bit quicker there. Sometimes, when you got a lot of tabs open, it takes a while for things to catch up. But yeah, he's basically just going out and trying to reiterate that, there's really nothing going on in the back end. But again, there's been some pretty nasty things that have come out. This whole entire Binance situation. Let me see if we can pull up some of these articles, because yeah, it's looking like a lot worse than previously imagined. I mean, we're talking about, they basically knew that criminals, specifically terrorists and Russians, were using Binance to move money around and launder it, and they kind of turned a blind eye. They even went on to say it, which is very scary. So let me see if I can find that again. It was in my video yesterday. But yeah, it was very, very sad that a lot of this type of information came out, because I think like I said, it's just a lot of our fears basically got confirmed. This was obviously the biggest thing, where on information and belief, Binance has not suggested the trading activity of Merit, Peak, Sigma Chain, or its approximately 300 house accounts to any anti-fraud fraud or anti-manipulation surveillance or controls, into the extent Binance purports to have required its officers, employees, and agents to abide by relatively new insider trading policy. And then, it was basically revealed that CZ, like it says right here, during the relevant period, Binance is traded on its own platform through approximately 300 house accounts that are all directly or indirectly owned by Zhao, which they're basically just trying to pin insider trading on him. And then I do want to let me see if I can find this post. I know I retweeted it, but I need to bookmark it because it's really good stuff. But yeah, basically their anti-money laundering reporting officer admitted that, yeah, we turned a blind eye. Like, we basically knew what was going on, and we decided not to kind of reveal it or talk to our board about it, because yeah, we didn't really want things to kind of get a lot worse than it is. So that's kind of where Binance is sitting right now. I guess I'm gonna have to keep on scrolling to find it, but yeah, I don't want to waste my time too much on it. Again, I've done an in-depth video on this, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. But outside of that, I mean, some of the bigger news that we see right now in the markets, looks like the S&P 500, it's falling because of rate pressures and interest rate hikes. Let's take a look at the S&P since market opened. This will kind of give us an idea of, well, obviously where the S&P is and what's the overall sentiment. So right now, a lot of people are trying to predict what the Fed is going to do. Are they going to raise interest rates in May, or are they going to maybe do a pause or even cut rates? Again, the Fed has been very clear, especially Jerome Powell. Their main goal is inflation, right? Their main goal is still inflation. And at this point, we're kind of beating a dead horse. I mean, the narrative is the same. I don't know why people keep trying to fight it or predict that something else is going to happen. But it looks like this 420 area was kind of the top for the S&P as of now. I mean, we did briefly break this, big downtrend around the end of January. We had a breakout, but it looks like it's really wanting to come back in. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm eyeing for things to probably come down to the low 300s, 320s is kind of what people have been talking about. So yeah, I mean, right now people are just trying to figure out what the Fed is going to do. They keep on thinking that there's going to be a pivot, and what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen is people are going to keep calling for a pivot. And then when the Fed actually does pivot, they're going to be like, oh, we were right, even though they were wrong for the last 7 or 8 months calling this pivot. So just be aware of that. I mean, right now, the Fed, their main goal is inflation. If CPI data for March March comes in a little bit lower, then it could maybe justify a slight reduction in interest rate hikes, or maybe they'll just keep at 25, but I doubt they're going to pause. I really doubt they're going to pause. So yeah, right now it's just a big bet of the game. What's going to happen with the SPY? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? What's the Fed going to do? Again, stop trying to fight the Fed, understand what they are doing, and just trade what's in front of you. After that, home prices are coming down, which is really good to see. Home prices cool in January, even falling in some cities, S&P Case-Shiller says. So home prices have been falling for 7 straight months, but the decline was a bit smaller in January, likely due to a brief drop in mortgage rates. Prices fell in cities such as Seattle, San Francisco, and San Diego. So as we can see, home prices cooled. They were only up about 3.8% nationally. And they're actually down from 5.6% in December, which is really good, but it's still a little bit too expensive to be buying a home. Home prices have been cooling due to higher mortgage rates. The average rate on the popular 30-year fixed mortgage set more than a dozen record lows during the first 2 years of the pandemic, briefly going below 2%, but it grew sharply. Since fall, the rate has been hovering in the high 6% range. That's because of interest rate hikes, although it's been volatile in recent weeks due to several bank failures and resulting stress on the overall banking industry. Yeah, I mean, home prices are going to have to come down because you can't, the last thing that people are going to want to do is buy a house right now with a crazy mortgage interest rate and the price is super high. I wonder what the median average is for a house right now, but I would probably bet maybe around $500,000, which that's pretty high. That's pretty high up there. And then, yeah, this was very interesting to see. This is not another banking crisis, analyst says. It's sentiment contagion instead. So what they're just trying to argue there is basically because of social media, a lot like banks aren't failing. It's just sentiment is making things seem a lot worse. The collapse of U.S.-based Silicon Valley Bank, the biggest bank failure since the global financial crisis, sparked a sell-off in banking stocks as contagion fear spread. The S&P 500 Banks Index climbed 3% on Monday, but remains down 22% over March. While in Europe, the stock 600 bank closed 1.7% higher Monday, but shed more than 17% this month. Citi concluded that in the absence of clear explanation for Friday's stock price moves, we are in an irrational market. Well, yeah, I mean, we are in an irrational market, but it's because information is flowing a lot quicker and a lot steadier than ever before. You going back to 2008, unless you were basically in the banking sector, like you really didn't know what was going on until it was too late, until it was in the news. Now, everything's on social media, like people are figuring out what's going on with a lot of these banks way before it gets reported. And it's actually the banks are playing catch up now. So they're trying to downplay it and say, hey guys, it's not as bad as you think. It's more of like a sentiment thing versus an actual banking crisis. No, there is a crisis going on. They just don't want you to know how bad it is. And then, yeah, this is what we also see. 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck amid inflation. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys still think that there's a bull market going on, you're going to have to really reevaluate, because if you have over half of the American population living paycheck to paycheck, I think the last thing that they are going to do is, invest into stocks and cryptocurrency. They're literally going to be trying to make ends meet. So that's the sentiment right now. As of February, 62% of all U.S. adults living paycheck to paycheck, up 60% from a month earlier. So just from January, it's went up a lot, according to new Lending Club report. To make ends meet, more people have picked up a side hustle, the report also found. As pandemic-related benefits are scaled back, many have turned to supplemental income with a side job or alternative income sources to improve their financial standing. Nearly half, or 44% of Americans, have a side hustle amid inflation, which is 13% jump compared to 2020. Another report from Flex Jobs found that 69% of employed professionals either have a side job, or want one. What is clear, no matter your income bracket, having supplemental income greatly impacts financial stability and can often mean the difference between living without difficulty and living paycheck to paycheck and struggling to pay monthly bills. And then, yeah, they're kind of breaking down, what you could do to, help increase your income there. But it's really simple. Well, I shouldn't say it's really simple, but yeah, the cost of everything is going up. It's becoming a lot more difficult just to live and to get by. And you are having people who literally have a regular job, maybe making anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000. They have to pick up a second job because it's just impossible to make ends meet with, that type of income anymore, especially if you have a family. If you have a family, it becomes that more difficult. In other news, Treasury bonds are going up. As we can see, the 3-month is up, 5-year Treasury yield. We can even take a look in TradingView as well. If we go to bonds, let's take a look at USO. Let's look at the 1-year government bond yield. So that's sitting at about 4.5%. So this sell-off was during the FOMC because basically people, it kind of sounded like, maybe they were considering a pause or a pivot, but it never really happened. But now it looks like we're, building some support here to probably make another leg up higher there. So that's the 1 year. Let's take a look at the 5-year as well. 5 years sitting, same thing, about just over 3.5%. Let's take a look at the 10-year. 10-year also, had a decent sell-off, but now it's making its way back up. What else do we got? And then, yeah, you obviously have your 5-year, your 2-year. So all of these, they should be finding some support here. Actually, no, we don't really look at the 2-year. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, 2 years right here. Yep, same thing, sitting at 4%. So I think you're going to be seeing more and more people still continue going into bonds. I mean, the trend is still very much up. I mean, even if we zoom out, let's say we go on like a 3-day chart. Yeah, I mean, this trend is still very much up. Pretty decent correction, and I think we're going to make another leg up higher. I don't know how high these bonds can go. Let's take a look at how high some of the bond rates did get. I mean, we did get up to almost 10% back in the 80s. Are we going to have something like that? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to really go the bonds that high just because of how much, financial markets have grown. But I think 5% is still on the table. And, if the economy really does continue to get worse, more and more people are going to be fleeing to safety like this until something actually finally breaks. Let's take a look at Bitcoin again. So yeah, Bitcoin's kind of sitting at that 27K level. Nothing too much going on there. Just again, it's trying to decide if it's going to make this move up higher. But when you kind of get these rounded top moves, it's usually a sign that we're going to be probably seeing lower prices. I mean, yeah, here it continued to pop up, but we could say that we've already had our 3-move ABC pattern. Let me see if I can pull this up. We had our move like this where you have a move up, down, move up. Man, this thing is just not wanting to work right now. Let's see. I think it's because this is turned on. All right, there we go. Let's try it now. Yeah, the problem is, you get to move up, down, move up, down, move up, and then that's kind of your typical ABC pattern, right? A, B, C, D, and then you start breaking down. Or you could go off of order blocks. We do have this order block still at that 28 to 30K level. I mean, it's made pushes up. It's tried to break through that resistance, without much success. RSI is, we could say that RSI is going in there's a bearish divergence. RSI is starting to trend down while price is obviously, trending up. I mean, that's a clear bearish divergence. That doesn't mean that price can't go higher, but the overall trend is down. So if anything, I'd probably expect maybe like a crazy volatile candle to break into here, and then this would be like that would trigger a lot of sell-offs. I mean, I bet that there's a lot of sell orders between that 28 to 31K level that a lot of traders are expecting to to enter. Let me just check TikTok really quick. We got 7 people in here. Let's see. We got some followers. Awesome. Rush always wins, kids. So yeah. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, alts haven't really been doing too well either. I mean, the alts have been selling off a decent amount. Let's see if there's any alts that are up big today. I mean, Audius is up, Optimism. XRP is obviously bouncing just because of the ISO launch. Excuse me. Surprisingly, Litecoin is down. It was announced that it's a commodity. That's interesting. Well, I was about to take a look at, the VIX. VIX is not necessarily staying suppressed. I mean, it's starting to form higher lows, lower highs and higher lows. It did kind of bottom out at this 18 range for a while here for a couple of months, basically from January up until March. Then the contagion spiked up, but the overall trend is still up. I mean, we're still waiting to see that crazy ramp up to VIX 30 and actually stay there. So I think it's going to be a slow game here. I think it's going to be a lot of slow bleeding. Bitcoin dominance is making its way up there as well. We're sitting at that 47%. This is why you're also seeing Bitcoin rally like crazy. Whenever Bitcoin dominance goes up, you're going to see more money flow into Bitcoin. You're going to see Bitcoin outperform everything, Ethereum, altcoins. So a lot of people are eyeing, that 50% Bitcoin dominance. They think that if once that hits that percentage level, 50%, then you're really going to start to see a bleed off in a lot of alts, and, Bitcoin price could be propped up. And this is where that theory that, hey, maybe we don't ever really revisit the 15K lows again for Bitcoin. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm not saying that we can't get back down here again. But if Bitcoin dominance does start to really trend up higher, like much, much higher, up to like that 50%, then it does give it a much stronger case for not seeing, these lows for Bitcoin, because all the money is going into Bitcoin, right? All the money is leaving, altcoins, maybe Ethereum, and going into Bitcoin because it's the only safe haven. So that does build a case for it. But until then, I think these lows are on the table, and the lows that everyone is still eyeing between 10 to 12K. That's still kind of my overall sentiment. I mean, this is just looking like a little bear rally again. That tends to follow another sell-off here. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet here, guys. I don't think that we, officially bottomed out as of yet. A lot of people are calling bottoms. They were calling a bottom here after, the summer months. And then what happened? FTX sent us lower. People arguing like, oh, look, we barely dropped with the FTX contagion. Oh, look, we barely dropped with the Binance contagion. Again, that's as of now. There's a lot more that's going to be uncovered. Justin Sun just had a lawsuit issued against him. He was basically wash trading, which is very bad. Do Kwon just got arrested. I'm sure Tether's probably going to be in the crosshairs as well. So don't think that it's all over. I think what's happening right now is everything is building up. And I don't want to come off as like super bearish, either for you guys or for TikTok. We just have to understand is there's been so many bad actors and bad apples in this space that it's now all going to be, surfaced. All the bad stuff is going to be coming out. But you can still make money in this, right? Remember, you guys can still, short the market here and make money off of it, whether it's shorting Bitcoin, whether it's shorting BNB, whether it's shorting a specific altcoin, you can still make money off of bad news. That's what you have to understand. However, that takes, a skill set to do that. So if you guys want, check out the link in my bio or in the description. You guys can join the free group in CoinPix. I mean, in here, you're actually going to, I'm active in there. So is Alex. I'm an affiliate for Alex right now. We have a massive community, well over 1,000 people. We're helping you helping you develop cash flow strategies. On top of, giving you more morning market updates, really any updates that are going in the crypto market. People in here are all researching together, working together to find the next best, investment in crypto, or the next best, money-making opportunity. So again, make sure you guys join this free group. There's a lot of great minds in here, very clean. There's no spam, very active. We got people all around the world. And like I said, we're all trying to learn and grow together so that we can, like I said, make money in this bear market or develop the new skill. Some people don't even know what a MetaMask is, right? They don't know what all these different blockchains are and how to access them. So if you need stuff like that, then again, make sure you guys join, the group, and we'll help you out in there. All right. But that's kind of like it in terms of what I'm looking at the market. I mean, it's nothing too fancy. It's probably going to be a short morning market update. It doesn't have to be anything too long. But the overall sentiment is still the same, guys. I mean, it's still a bearish sentiment. It really just depends on what the Fed is going to do. Bitcoin, I think if the longer it keeps testing this 28K range, the higher the probability we're going to have a pretty decent drop. It really just needs to just break out already, hit this liquidity level, have people start taking profits, or maybe cause a bunch of FOMO, and then, either bearish news comes out or there's like a liquidation crisis where a lot of people start getting liquidated. And then, we see much lower prices there. But yeah, what kind of questions do you guys got? I don't know if Hound and Hunter are still in here. If there's any coins you guys want me to look at, let me know in the comments there below. Otherwise, I'll probably just kind of wrap things up here. Pretty quick morning market update. Again, nothing too fancy, nothing too, too crazy going on in the market. It's just the same story over and over and over again. But yeah, let me know, guys, before I kind of decide to hop off here. I'm just kind of looking at some things really quick. But yeah, let me pull up the got some viewers. Let me check TikTok real quick. Got 8 people. Let's go. Bitcoin is the way. That's right. Bitcoin is the way. And then for those of you who are joining, obviously, make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter as well. What are my thoughts on ARB? That's a good question. We could actually pull up the chart of Arbitrum. I believe I still have it. Let's see, ARB. Yeah, ARB is right here. This is ARB on the daily. It's actually kind of breaking some of my support levels here. Let me see if I can go on the hourly. Yeah, so I think what's happening is, people are still, I believe, claiming. Yeah, this is Arbitrum. It's kind of broken out of this range right now. But, we do have this crazy wick that goes, I guess this wick goes all the way up to $11, but it might be wrong. This is on KuCoin. But my thoughts on Arbitrum, I'm personally going to be holding it. I don't think, I'm personally looking to hold until next bull run. Unless really bad news comes out with Arbitrum, or not even Arbitrum, unless really bad news comes out with regulation, then I'll be probably looking to sell and get out. If they're really looking to, persecute a lot of crypto, a lot of altcoins. But as of now, yeah, it's just kind of in this choppy range. I mean, I had my, my swing highs and my swing lows marked off. So yeah, I mean, if it maybe gets back up into like that $1.20 range, I'll maybe look to take a long, because then I think, like that $1.35 is on the table. For people to get in. You didn't get the airdrop? Yeah, I mean, it's free money. I mean, look, it is what it is. There's still going to be a lot of airdrops that are available. There's a ZK Zinc airdrop, I believe, that's going to be happening maybe in the next couple of weeks. Don't quote me on it. I would have to do some research. But yeah, I mean, Arbitrum just kind of going through like this typical, it's just range bound. It's just what it's doing. So this is known as Charity Island. There's really nothing to trade here. It's just kind of ranging. Now, if you are an experienced trader, I mean, you kind of love this because, you know, it's going to be very predictable, you know, when you should get in, when you should get out. But for the long term, I guess you could treat it as accumulation, but you're going to have a very long-term mindset for that. But as of now, there ain't much going on. It's just kind of ping-ponging back and forth. So unless, you know, they come out with some pretty bullish news that'll kind of get people to, you know, start buying in, then I could see something happening there. But yeah, as of right now, again, nothing too crazy going on there, guys. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Again, nothing too crazy in the markets, just kind of waiting on the Fed interest rate, which is in May, the next FOMC meeting, and CPI data. Let's actually finish up by taking a look at Forex Factory. We'll take a look at Forex Factory, basically see what the next few big dates that we should be aware of. Let me just close a couple of these tabs. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. And let's open up Forex Factory. So that way we are aware of any big data, big announcements or big reports that'll be coming out. So let's see. This is the last week of March, guys. Isn't that crazy? We're almost in April. Wow. So today's Tuesday. So later today, we don't really have anything. The U.S. reported. Yeah, there was no big U.S. reports. There's a manufacturing index. Let's see, for Wednesday, nothing too big we have pending home sales, nothing too crazy. Thursday, we have final GDP quarter over quarter. So we'll see, you know, if we're still contracting now. Oh, unemployment claims. This will be big. You know, this is what the Fed's going to be watching. You know, if there's more unemployment claims, that would be good for us because it shows that interest rate hikes are working and the Fed wants to see an uptick in unemployment. If not, that's not going to be good. They're going to keep at it. And then to finish the week, we have core PCE price index. Okay. So that'll be interesting to watch as well. Maybe I'll go live for Friday again. We'll see. I do have a interview on Friday for work. So, but yeah, so later in the week is when we'll get a little bit more info. And then let's see, to start off April. So basically starting Monday, we will have ISM manufacturing next week. Jolt's job openings, so more job openings. Let's see, non-farm unemployment change. So next week will be probably a little bit more active in the markets. Unemployment claims again. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like next week will be a lot more. And then unemployment rate. Yeah. Next week will be the bigger one. And I believe CPI comes out the second week of April. And then, yeah, so on the 12th of April is when we get the CPI report. So that'll be really interesting to watch as well. So yeah, make sure you guys are just subscribe, you know, share it. And like I mentioned, make sure you guys do go follow me on Twitter if you're not following me already. That goes both for TikTok and YouTube here. Again, at Marty Luco is my handle there. So you guys can get all the latest updates. So yeah, guys, appreciate you hopping on. Quick, simple, straight to the point. I'm going to try to get Johnny in here, I promise, or maybe even Will. We'll see. Or Aaron, I don't know. But I'm going to try to get some more people on here, get some more, you know, stars to help us out. So yeah, guys, as always, if you appreciate this content, leave a like. If not, leave some constructive criticism in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.